First of all, my name is Stephanie, and I grew up in a very unlovable household, very much violence, and my mom was an alcoholic, so we had a lot of really sad things happening in the household. And so I really struggled with my self-worth, and I also struggled with how God saw me, and I had no idea of God's love. I also thought God was some sort of dictator in heaven that was putting a thumb on us to control us. And so, but I do remember as I got older, the Lord was showing me who He really was, and that He loved me, and He had a call on my life from the very beginning. And I didn't know how He was going to use me. And so He spoke to me as a young woman that I was going to be a missionary. And I was like, what does this mean, God? And so fast forward, I'm 36 years old, and now I'm in YWAM. And so God is like, He's slowly showing me through DTS. We learned God's nature and God's character. And it really secured my place in the kingdom. I was like, yeah, there's a God that really loves me, especially me, and that He chose me from the very beginnings of the foundations of the earth. And it took DTS and the teachings I got from there to show me that. And so God continued to grow that with me when I chose to go to India. And when I first got to India, I was blown away by how much the people were so loving and so selfless, and they really put our needs first. And what was truly amazing about them is that they showed me the way that Christ really loved His people, and who knew that I would learn that from going halfway around the world at 36 years old. And I'm going to be a missionary to a tribe in India, where we step on the ground at India, and they were more Christ-like than anyone I have ever seen in my life. And yeah, God is moving in all the nations. And the Ojibwe tribe, we're celebrating 75 years of being Christian. And in that 75 years, they have truly walked out what God called them for. And our presence as missionaries, I got to hear from some of these young men and women in India. They shared with us that since us missionaries came to their land and were so ready to serve them and love on them, they were like, we want to be missionaries in our nearest lands, because they were surrounded by Muslim and Buddhists. And they finally saw the heart of what missionaries could do for their own nation. And so, yeah, even our presence just being there was truly incredible. And yeah, so we left a little legacy there. They were like, yeah, missionaries, we can be missionaries in our own nation. And I was like, yeah, you can. And so, yeah, if you want to come to DTS, you can also leave a legacy in a nation.